talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, do you? Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice.
Alright, so we have stalking here. This guy is bothering this girl and will not stop, demanding a conversation after she's told him to leave her alone. Just leave me alone. And so what's the crime? Stalking is a felony. He's harassing her, and she's screaming, leave me alone. That's not the crime. All he had to do is go away. That's it. And so I'm dealing with the same thing with Mr. Perry. This is Cynthia Ortiz. It's October 19, 2023. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts, and he's not shut up since I woke up. Since my feet hit the floor, he will not shut up. I'm going to make you go back. I'm going to kidnap you. I'm going to get you. I can see you. I'm watching you. He talks to me when I get my phone. He'll start typing in it. I'm going to make you go back. I'm going to kidnap you. Threaten me. It's not, she can go home and get away from this man. I can't. He's a voyeur. Mr. Perry's a voyeur. I don't care what he says. Our guys know. The guys that tell me everything they say before know exactly what he does. And they're not factually ignorant. They make a point not to be. They're very intelligent men. They're very good at what they do. I mean, I want to know how many times was Mr. Perry, how much of this crime that Mr. Perry hid all his life was caught until he did it to me. How many times, Charles, aren't you an accountant? How many times were you caught in crime? Stalking is a crime. Voyeurism is a crime. Hacking and cloning somebody's phone is a crime. It's illegal access and use to an electronic device that is not yours. Stalking is a felony. You make all my skin crawl. All of it. You sicken people. Normal people cannot imagine. I mean, you got your little club of weirdo. The guys that work for you, your little bitches. And outside of that is everybody else who can't imagine why in the hell anybody would do what you're doing. And they're repulsed by it. Even prisoners are repulsed by sex offenders like Jeff Epstein, Dr. Weck said. So how much more repulsed is everyone else? If even prisoners are repulsed by sex offenders like Jeff Epstein. So we think maybe he was murdered. So anyway, outside of your club of weirdo is the rest of the world who's normal and doesn't like cruelty and doesn't like creepy and can't imagine why anybody would do such a heinous, horrible thing. Human rights violations, depriving women and children of food and shelter. That's the other thing he's threatening. I'm going to deprive you of food and shelter. I'm going to make you destitute. You're going to do what I say. Really? And I told you so. How many I told you so's did you want to give me? Thank you for showing your guilt. Because if I wasn't right on what I'm saying and your crime, which is heinous and disgusting and repulsive to everybody else, sir, we get the intel. We don't know if it's good or bad yet, sometimes. You prove it out every time you threaten me with deprivation of food and shelter. You're trying to coerce me. You told somebody, I just need to see her to see that she needs me. Like a hole in the head. Because here's what my friend said. I've known Cynthia since she was 20, 21. We watched her grow up. She is a professional. What I know of her, she's a professional businesswoman who fought really hard for her patients and her kids. Gave it all she had. And so if she's dancing and door dashing, what did Mr. Perry do to her? What horrible thing did he's abusive, and she's not going to be involved in something abusive. He's making her sleep in her car. What kind of asshole does that? That's not the kind of person she would want. I'm going to tell you right now, if she's sleeping in her car to avoid being with him, she's fighting against him. And she's willing to take it that far that she would go and be destitute and starved and not get a bath. And not get a bath and not eat to get away from him. Because he would do that to her. And we saw her with Saeed. She was actually with him. She moved to be with him, not to get away. I moved twice to get away from Mr. Perry and have no further contact with him and no conflict. I left Lubbock. I rejected you. You repulse me. You make all my skin crawl. I'm not attracted to you. I'm repulsed by you. You're the most disgusting piece of trash I've ever met in my life. And weirdest of the weird. By far. You win that award. Weirdo of the year, Weirdo of the Century award. You're it. Gold star for you. So, you're bragging about, I watch you, I can see you, I'm gonna starve you. Duly noted for the record. The guy sat there and watched what you did. They know everything you do, just like you know everything. You're being watched too. You invade my privacy, boy, howdy, they got in yours. How many times has your crime been caught? Before you did it to me, how many after? And thank you for letting me know I'm right, or you wouldn't attack me and threaten me like that. You don't go 5 minutes without committing a crime, do you? It is you have zero impulse control. It is unbelievable. So she said, I leave. I reject Perry, and I left in November 2013 and moved to the Dallas area. And then he went there and started causing problems there and butting into stuff and stalking. He's a butt-in, nosy body, just like, boring. You don't have a life. Or you'd get out of everybody else's. You'd be busy in your own life and not have time to bother other people. You sit in an Oklahoma hotel room watching me in the privacy of my home all day, causing one problem after another, and you get caught when you do it to me, and you act like you don't know that. You act like you have no idea. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The stuff that you say and do. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we get a lot of intel. Is that your goal? Yeah, 11/26, he went at it again. I'm gonna starve you. That's what opened this case to begin with, human rights violations. Violations of people's basic rights and needs. And it's not your business, is it? It is not. You're a butt-in, you're like Connie Curry. I gotta butt in to get attention, because I can't get attention I gotta be nosy, because I can't get attention. Wow, okay. Wow. Okay, so then I left the Dallas area, came home to my family in Oklahoma in September 2014. I've been here 9 years. Mr. Perry comes to Oklahoma, sits on his fat, lazy, perverted ass all day long, watching women in the privacy of their home, causing big, huge problems and loss, and he's a rejected fail. Nobody's seen me with him because I won't be with him. He's disgusting. I rejected you. I don't like you. You're told on, and told on, and told on, and told on, because everybody is sick of you, sir. Wake up. Wake up. You make everybody sick. And you act like you have no idea. Because normal people cannot fathom what is wrong with some sick fuck that peeps on women and rapes them. And I'll define how you make me feel, you sick son of a bitch. You contact me, we get intel. You take my money, we get intel. You invade my privacy, we get intel. And you want that. That is what you want. Or if you didn't want us to get intel, you'd stop. And thank you for letting me know I'm right with your attack. You want me to shut up because I'm right. You want to starve me because I'm right. And you're pathetic. You embarrass the hell out of me. I wouldn't walk in a room with you for millions, because you're pathetic and you embarrass me, sir. You're a weirdo. You're just a fucking weirdo. So, you can't get a date. You can't figure out how to get women to like you. I took everything you have. I watch you. I can see you. Why don't you like me? Everybody's like, oh my God, wow. Okay, so here's my friend. She's like, she's fighting against him. She doesn't want him. She's sleeping in her car. And that's why she doesn't want him. He's making her sleep in her car. And I promise you, she moved to be with Saeed. We watched her with Saeed for 4 years. She was with him all the time. You couldn't separate those two. And he made sure there was no sleeping. There's no way he would let that happen. Well, it's just a bad economy. No, it is actually not a bad economy. Don't sit here and think you can bullshit me. And by the way, even if it was, you know what Saeed did? Started a business for her that she wanted. Medical. Doesn't matter what the economy looks like. It's medical. He made sure she had a job. He created a job for her and then made sure they all made money. She didn't miss a meal. That's the kind of man she wants. She's used to a higher standard of living. She's used to smarter people. She's used to a higher caliber of people. That's her people. This skank is not what she wants. And so she's willing to sleep in her car and not eat and not bathe to get away from him, to fight him off. Because he would do something like that to her. She's not going to put up with that. She's a professional businesswoman. And so if she's dancing and she's door dashing, what in the hell did he do to her? And I'm not stupid. I've known her for years. This is not who she is. Who she is the woman who's willing to sleep in her car to fight an abusive piece of trash off of her. This is not what she wants, and she's not going to put up with it. And that's how far she's willing to go to be rid of him. The more cruel you get, the more intel we get, sir. And you're so dumb. You're so stupid. You can't get cause and effect. When you do the crime to me, everything is different. But it's the same every time you do it. This is shit we learned in daycare. I tell you what, I fucking hate stupid. I can't deal with it. I'm not a heart surgeon, so I don't go do heart surgery. I'm not a brain surgeon. I've been trained in that. I don't go do a brain surgery. I'm not trained to deal with people with special needs. And you have Huntington's disease. And you know why we found that out? Because you're an asshole. And people were sick of it. And so somebody told our guy, you know what the talk around here is? Charles Perry doesn't want Cynthia to know he's got Huntington's disease, which causes paranoia, delusion, hallucination, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. So we're sick of him tormenting her and torturing her and intimidating and threatening and ruining her. We're sick of it. So we're going to make sure she finds out. So we know. And your reactions always prove us right. Your reactions prove the intel right. The question, is it Beverly? I've not met Beverly. I don't know her. Is it Al? I do know Al. I met Al. Is Al Blankenship? I don't know Blankenship if that's not Al. I don't know. I believe I've met Richard and Dickie, but I'm not sure. I don't know Lucius. Not met him. Calvin. Not met him. Bald fat Calvin. I don't know him. I've not met him that I know of. Geppetto, your witch that you hired, your little wiki witch that you hired to cast spells on me that don't work. What one of our guys said, Charles was consulting witches because that's common for human traffickers to get witches, and they do curses on victims to try to make them complicit. And he was told right off the bat, this woman is sold out, and she's decided she's going to be believing God and Christianity. And this only works on people who don't know what they believe. She knows what she believes. So all you're going to do is pay me a lot of money to piss her off. And when she gets pissed off, y'all start getting caught. So I don't know if this is what you want to do or not. I mean, I'll take your money and laugh all the way to the bank if that's what you want. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to work. It's going to make her mad. That's all it's going to do. And he is not wrong. Look at the history. Do you not know how to read your results? I mean, we're constantly, when we sit down and figure out what we're going to do. By the way, name one guy helping me. Oh yeah, you can't. Nobody will help you with that. Quote one of their meetings. Oh yeah, you can't. Nobody will help you with that. You know what? Everybody hates you and they're sick of you. You're a burden. You're an imposition everybody wants gone. We get the help. Always have for 10 years. You get told on. You have to learn how to read your results, and you can't. None of you can. Right, Mr. Betancourt? I've never met you, Betancourt, that I know of. But I have your name from police recordings. What is wrong with you people? Here's my friend. Thank God, knows me better than my family. Knows me better than my family. You piss my family, I guess. Since there's been a lot of perjury in court, the judge that's granting investigatory orders has written up, from what I'm told, a very wide open order, standing order, to get information, however they do that, on any and all grand jury proceedings, because you go into court and you lie. And you suborn perjury and you commit perjury. So, whatever, when I'm quoting a grand jury and a judge, and I'm not in that room, sir, that ought to tell you the power behind me. You act like you don't know. So we have a meeting or talk. I'm not in the same room with them, but there's a phone call on a secured phone. Because you like to hack phones, and they're gonna make sure you don't find out who they are or what they're doing. Anyways, so they have they look at all the facts. Here's the facts. Here's reality. Let's get real. This is reality. Here's the risks. Here's the benefits. Here's the strategy. We have a shrink that has evaluated. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we get more intel. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? That's all you got. 10 years of it. You're just not all there. I fucking can't do it. I'm not trained for special needs. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't like stupid people. I can't do it. You know what I can do in my sleep? Sting up. I can sting up. But when you got a special needs person, I can't deal with it. I don't know what to do. It's the same thing if you put me in front of in a surgical room with a heart surgery. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even care. I know that we don't like you. Yeah, okay, so we look at, we have a shrink that has evaluated all the players, inside out, backward, and forward, so that everybody can anticipate what you'll do. And you do the knee-jerk reaction, cover it up, attack, look guilty, every time. We take it to Vegas and bet on it. It's a sure win. It's an absolute sure win. It's so easy, it's not fair. So and then we go, well, I guess that intel was good. Look what they did. So I mean, police record a lot of things, but you got to then go through a process of proving the intel. Is it good intel or bad intel? We're not going to wait till you do something. When you make a threat, it goes out immediately. We're not going to wait till you do it, because we need to prove criminal intent, malicious aforethought, premeditation, and he's a fucking crazy, heinous, depraved, demented criminal who's doing things that are illegal, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's caught, and he acts like he doesn't know. How embarrassing. Never responds appropriately to what you just said. Never. Somebody commented on that. Mr. Perry is getting more and more depraved, and more deranged, and more where people are starting to be able to tell that when you're talking to him, you can tell he has no idea what you're saying. He's not responding like he understood what you just said. It's not just her. Anybody can see it. You talk to him for 2 minutes, you can't miss it. He's as weirdo as they come, and it's not all there. You can just tell that when you're talking to him, he has no fucking idea what you just said. It's embarrassing. And he needs to be in a special needs facility. And instead of running around causing problems. And he's not just a burden to the victims. He's even a burden to his own organization. He's a liability. He can't control himself. No impulse control at all. None. When you get caught, that's when you stop. I'm going to starve you. But that's what opened this to begin with. And that's what gets you told on. Is that your goal? You have to read your results. We do. That's why we get the help and you don't. Because y'all call out. This morning he's typing in my, is it Israel? Oh my God. Why in the fuck do you think you're going to get questions answered from me? See, I don't have my privacy. I don't have money. And when you're gone, I will. You're paying your attorney $500 an hour to answer your questions? Bother him. Every time you contact me at all, you got a lot of nerve to ask me questions and think me, of all people, would help you. I took everything you have. I'm taking your privacy too. I can see you. Listen to those words. I took everything you have. I'm going to make you destitute. I'm going to take your car. I'm going to make you eat out of a dumpster. Threaten me. I'm going to have you false arrested. I'm going to kidnap you. I'm going to make you be trafficked and raped. I'm going to make you do it against your will. That was the threat this morning. Again. I'm going to make you do something you don't want to do. That is illegal, by the way. And I don't care I don't care. Now, tell me who's helping you. Wow. We're like, do you hear the words that just came out of your mouth? Wow. This guy is the same. People are repulsed by him. They feel bad for her, not him. They feel bad for the victims on 9/11, not Osama bin Laden or the terrorists. They feel bad for the victims at the St. Francis that were shot or terrorized by an active shooter, not the active shooter. I mean, there might be some level of empathy, but not a lot. Definitely, Mr. Perry, when you contact me, he just did it again. He types in my other phone. So a lot of times if I stop and say 11:41, he just made unwanted contact with me again. The guys will use that against you in their case. Okay? So we read our results, and if our results aren't what we want, we change what we're doing. These guys, for 10 years, every day they do the same thing. They get the same results. And then they run around intimidating and threatening and harassing. Was it you? Did you talk? Was it you? And that actually has helped us more than you know. It's funny as hell. People don't like being threatened. They don't like being terrorized. They don't like cruelty. They don't like suffering. They don't like hardships. And you're doing all of that 24/7. And so we get a lot of intel. And then you guys run around going, how did she find out? Well, you asked for it. You're terrorizing. You're threatening. You're harassing. You're cruel. And you give everybody the creepy crawlies. All of you. Lucius, Calvin, Geppetto, Betancourt, Blankenship, Desiree, Andrew, Lawrence, James, Reuben, Richard, Dickie, Beverly, Al. Is Al Blankenship, is that the same guy or two different guys? I'm not even told that. Bruce, Oscar, Greg, Tim, Larry. Creepy crawlies like fuck. Creepy crawlies. Charles, Dave, Josh, Joe, Matthew Powell. So, if you don't like us finding out what you're up to, then it's hard to tell, because you do the same thing that gets us intel like that. There's a standing order that's very wide open, because there's so much probable cause with perjury on every grand jury proceeding you try to do. So when I'm quoting people in a grand jury, I've quoted Jason Moore. I've quoted my 2 boys. I've quoted my cousin. There's a whole lot more that we have that we're not letting out. We're not telling you what all we have. We have a lot. Is there a grand jury proceeding, Mr. Perry? Did you go in a perjury and pretend like you're the victim in a state where you don't live and weren't invited? Somebody didn't go for that bullshit, and he goes, here's the thing. This is not hard. Not hard at all. It's just common sense. This is like daycare level thinking right here. Charles was harassing Cynthia in Lubbock, and everybody knew it. He went around telling everybody who would listen that they were having an affair. And she was pissed, and everybody knew that. She didn't want to have... She's like, yeah, I'm not going to be anybody's damn mistress. Everybody who would listen, he's telling, we're having an affair. And she's going around, there's no way I'd be anybody's fucking... I'm not, sloppy seconds for anybody. That's just not me. It's not happening. He's pretending. He's wishland. He's a wannabe. There's nothing like that happening. And he said, so he starts harassing her. Everybody knew that. Everybody knew there was never anything political. Everybody knew. She leaves town, goes home to her family to get away from his harassment. He's in Oklahoma, where he does not live and was not invited, and claiming he's a victim. I'm sick of hearing every time I talk to Charles Perry, he's a victim of a crime in Oklahoma, where he doesn't live and isn't wanted and wasn't invited. Go home to your family to get away from the harassment, you poor little thing. Why don't you take your dress off? I think everybody's sick of your whining. And grow up and act like a man your age. So, people, that's the perception, sir. Outside your little club of weirdo, your little yes man group, that's everybody else. Like this.
Please stop listening.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
He's harassing her. He's going where she is. He's chasing her around, like Mr. Perry's in Oklahoma, sitting in an Oklahoma hotel room for 9 years. I guess somebody said, did he really think he's going to be in Oklahoma for 9 years and nobody would notice? Why would he think that? Well, he's got Huntington's disease, so he's just not all there. I don't know. Here's the thing. People notice. You're never in Lubbock. You're never in Texas. And the guy starts asking, what's his wife think? Jacqueline, what's she think? She's kind of spacey, so I don't know, Jackie. It's like, I don't know anything about it. The guy said, she's a space cadet. Talk to her. And then you'll know why he's got her fooled. And the guy was like, well, what about the kids? His kids are pretty sharp. Well, they may know, but they're not talking about it to her because maybe they don't want to upset her. But she's a space cadet, so I'm pretty sure Charles could bullshit her all, Maybe that's it. Maybe it's that he's abusive to women, and she doesn't know how to get out. He's an abusive piece of trash. A rejected fail. Every day. He's getting told on. You guys are team told on. Mr. Perry, every time you contact me, we get more intel. It's 11:47. He just did it again. So duly noted for the record, Mr. Perry again thinks this is a conversation. It's not. He's watching me in the privacy of my home. Nobody's sitting with him right now to confirm that he's not. Right? Watching me in the privacy of my... sicko. Absolutely sick little fuck. We get the help, not you. And you act like you think it's the other way around. Name one of my guys, quote one of their meetings. What's one of our code words? Name one. You can't do it. I just listed off a whole bunch of your people. Who's Monique and where is she today? Huh? Charles, who is Monique and where is she today, right now? What's she doing? Yeah. Threaten me one more time, I dare you. Every time you contact me, we get more information like that. You know why? It infuriates people that you do that. Infuriates them that you're invading my privacy. Infuriates normal people that can't understand who in the fuck is so sick and twisted they would do what he's doing. There's a reason it's illegal It's repulsive to people, normal people. Far outside social norms. Inappropriate. And so we get the help, not you. So her screaming, leave me alone, isn't harassment. Dumb. That's all I've done is scream, leave me alone. Fuck off, weirdo. Leave me alone. She's a little nicer than I am. Like, God bless you. And I tried that for a long time. It doesn't work. So I don't know. I'm no longer nice. I'm not going to be nice to a man who is threatening me with kidnapping and false arrest and using taxpayer dollars to fund the facilitation of delivery of a trafficking victim that he's trying to shut up and get a personal profit out of that. You don't get to do that. And you've been doing that. And we all know it. Everybody knows it. Do you think they like that? No, they're pissed about it. That's why we get the help and you get told on. You got to learn how to read your results. And when you do the same thing every day that gets you the same results, expecting different results, that's insanity. And we're just like, this is so easy, it's not fair. It's so easy, it's not fair. When I named those people, by the way, there might be one of those two guys that are helping us. They're fine. We have no problem with them, but we're not going to tell you who that is. But I'll tell you this. When you run around getting in their face, is it you? Did you take... That's really not helpful for you. That's what everybody's sick of. So you just remember, when you do that, we find out about it every time. So I'd be very careful about threatening people. People want the threats stopped. People want the suffering and the hardships and the cruelty stopped. You're imposing. You don't get to do that. You may have gotten away with this all your lives. When we quote you, do you really think you're getting away with it now?
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
And that right there is how everybody else thinks outside your little club weirdo, and why we get the help and you get told on. Just like that. Those are your results. Learn how to read them. We do. Believe me, we do.
That's okay. I don't care.
And then you guys run around. How did she find out? Oh my God, how'd she know? Okay, well, we've told you. We're not special needs instructors, teachers. We're not special. We don't know how to do it. Sorry. I can outsting up a cop or an attorney in my sleep. Helping somebody with mental slow problems. I don't know what to do. Any more than I would know how to do a heart surgery. And I don't care. It's not my responsibility. You're paying an attorney $500 an hour. Bother him with your questions and fuck off. Fuck off me. You don't tell somebody, I took everything you have. I'm going to kidnap you. I'm going to rape you. Why wouldn't you help me? Who's helping you? Wow. How about I punch you in the face? How about I slap the shit out of you? Because you're that stupid to even ask me that.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape
For mental slow Matt, that's not to be taken literally unless Mr. Perry gets close to me. He has to come where I am. If he comes where I am, I'm going to beat the hell out of him. But Mr. Matt Powell, who makes a big fucking thing out of just a comment to make a point, that's not a threat. Don't take it literally, okay? Boy, we get mad at you're slow too. Don't twist my words. When I said somebody ought to slap the shit out of you just because you're stupid, I'm just making a point. It's not to be taken literally. Mr. Perry's not in any danger unless he comes where I am, and then he is, I'll beat the hell out of him. He's not to get near me. I'm not going to wait to see if he's got a weapon or he's going to kidnap me. So, Mr. Powell, stop with the stupid. Stop. It gets on my last nerve. It gets on everybody's last nerve.
culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
You heard of the Me Too movement? Also, let me get into that just a little bit. Mr. Powell twisting my words and going, oh, she's threatened us. Oh my God, wow. Okay, so when I lived in Lubbock, and I'm friends with Jason Moore, if you've met Jason Moore, he's a go-to guy for sure, a big, huge guy, and so and also I think that Mr. Perry's campaign guy Jordan Berry did the same thing. There's jokes. How about a high five? You know, what an idiot. How about I high five that guy in the face with a chair? I think Jordan Berry said something about this senator bitch slapped this other senator in a session. Well, he didn't mean he actually bitch slapped him. It's a metaphor. Okay, in my entire life, Mr. Powell and Josh Burson, never have I had to explain what I mean, what's an analogy and a metaphor, and I'm just saying that to make a point. It's kind of a joke. In my life, I'm sick of your stupid. If you can't understand I'm joking or trying to make a point or it's a metaphor, an analogy, I fuck you. Just fuck you. Come on with that. There's no threats to anybody. Absolutely not. If Mr. Perry comes where I am, he would have to come where I am. Then I have said, I'm going to protect myself. I'm not going to wait to see if he's got a syringe or a chloroform rag. He's threatening me with kidnapping. Or a gun. I will kick his balls in his brain faster than he can say my name. I have the right to do that. You don't have the right to impede my self-defense. You don't have the right to impede justice. You don't have the right to obstruct justice. You don't have the right to invade my privacy. You don't have the right to do shit to me. You need to leave me alone, all of you. You don't have the right to twist my words. You don't. And those texts to Mr. Perry where I found out that he was spreading rumors of an affair, and my client, Mr. Morrison, made a comment. To this day, I wish I could remember what the hell he said. I think at the time it made me so mad, I didn't even remember what he said exactly. But he had spoken to someone named Chris Wynn, who was very good friends with two of Charles's employees, Carl and Robin Tepper. They all hung out together all the time. And the comments went from Carl and Robin to Chris Wynn to my client. And I was upset. I was pissed. I texted Charles. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Mr. Powell called in, I guess, Manford, maybe talked to Chief Miller or Mike Neely, I'm not sure. And he said, can we just get Frank to say, They always use the word just in front of a lie, like that's going to make it not a lie. Just say this, or just say that. We call it suborning perjury. That's what we call it. It's false testimony. It's not true. It's a deception, an intentional deception upon a court and a deciding body. So he's like, well, can we just get Frank Morrison to say she misunderstood something? I am the only person who will say what I understood. No one else can do that for me. Not Frank Morrison, for sure. I do that. Mr. Powell, no one else. And the guy goes, I mean, remember, I'm not told who I'm listening to. Sometimes I can tell by voice. I can recognize the voice. Mr. Powell, I can recognize your voice because you and Charles got recorded so much talking that I started, because I've never met Mr. Powell, odd as that might seem. Yeah, when I'm in jail, you know, they heard you telling Charles, is it possible this is personal? She was displaced. Charles, look me in the eye and tell me, is it possible this is personal? Is there anything personal here? And he lied to you, and you let him. You had a fiduciary, legal, and moral obligation to get the truth. And once you found out there was nothing political, you should have immediately dropped the charges, and that was that. Let me go home. And you didn't. Okay, so he's like, well, you can get him to say that. However, I don't think that lie will work, Mr. Powell, because Mr. Perry never asked Cynthia why she's pissed off. There's no question in this text saying, why are you mad? He already knew. Didn't need to ask her. And he never denies spreading rumors of an affair. He denies having employees. Well, we all knew he had employees. She names them, Robin and Carl Tepper. So why are you calling and asking, can we make this lie work? And if you've done it once, you've done it more than once. And you're caught. And you don't twist my words. I can make a joke and make a point and make an analogy like Jason. I'd like to high-five that guy in the face with a chair. And fuck you if you're stupid and you don't understand what I'm doing. That's your problem. In my life, I've never had to explain myself this much. Charles Perry, no one asked you what you think, did they? This is not a phone call. It's a recorded podcast that you could only know what I'm doing if you're a little fuck peeping Tom sicko and you're hacking me. So it's 12 o'clock. He did it again. Yep. Commented in my other phone. Get the fuck out of my phone. So sometimes if I'll drop everything I'm doing and say stop, or make a note for the record, we're doing two things. Sometimes he does stop, and the other thing is the guys are going to charge him. They're adding another charge right now. Every time he contacts me, and then we get more intel, because it's pissing everybody off. You were told to control your urges, get a life, and go work, and leave me alone. And don't contact me again, because it's rape.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Stepdad's been raping me.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping me since you were
The rest of us are disgusted by you.
Leave me alone! Please! I don't... Leave me alone!
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space.
Alright, so Mr. Perry, paused it there. Oh, brother. So, welcome to my day. Everything's a thing. Everything's an ordeal. Everything's a problem. You know what? When you're in jail, no more of this. No more of this.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please.
I rejected you. I don't like you. No one does. The results are, we get inside information on your criminal activity like never before in your pathetic, loser, reject, fail life. I define how you make me feel, and I'll define how I see all of you, whether you like it or not. I do have that right. I do have the right to my privacy. You don't have the right to rape me.
Leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone.
This make you...
Alright, here we go with this. How does it feel? She's like trying to make a point. How does it feel to have a camera in your face? Do you like that? And he completely doesn't get it. And he's like, I got pictures of you. You want me to go get him? I'm stalking you. I get pictures. Mr. Perry does the same thing. Takes pictures of me everywhere I go. In Oklahoma, just working. Doing normal things normal people do. And then takes it into court and go, see, I'm not stalking her. Look at all these pictures I got of her working in Oklahoma, just doing normal things normal people do. Oh my God. Wow. Wow, whackjob. You're not all there, are you? Okay, so then he threatens, I'm going to get you. Mr. Perry does the same thing. I'm going to get you. I'm going to kidnap you. I'm going to make you destitute. I'm going to deprive you of food and shelter and your basic rights and needs. I'm going to harm you. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to ruin you. Because you found out about my crime, and I don't like that, and I want you to shut up, and I want to cover it up, and I want you to lie. And I'm going to intimidate you and harass you and threaten you until you do. I'm going to coerce you. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce. The buying and selling of anything is commerce, dum-dum. And you're caught. And you look guilty, and you prove out our intel, whether it's good or bad, by what you do. It's called acts showing consciousness of guilt, and we're able to apply the proper weight and to draw inference by what you do. As to your guilt or innocence, you're going to go to jail. We are going to do something with this information. There are cops. Or you wouldn't ask me, who is it? Information gets from your camp, your organization, to police, and then to me. They make sure you don't know who that is or how that is. So your questions are highly inappropriate and disgusting and infuriates people, and it gets us more, actually. He has a lot of nerve to ask her, of all people, for help. Wow. I'm not making $500 an hour to be bothered with your questions, sir. I'm being deprived of food and shelter, and fuck you.
Feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you
Is that
feel?
the one that put all those scratches on your arm? You want to see the
Scratches?
pictures? You want,
I got
I
scratches.
can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Monkey, hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't give a
get it
fuck.
good.
You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can bring
Is
the
that
whole
a
fucking
threat?
army.
You're gonna
I don't give a
find
fuck.
out.
This make you feel?
What an idiot. This is not what you would consider a dignitary. Mr. Perry wants to run for governor. We're like, what? Monkeys at the zoo? Governor, we'll let you be the governor of your nursing home, okay? If you'll finally fucking go away and go into your nursing home and get the medical care you need. You clearly need it. And more people are starting to notice that when they talk to you, you act like you have no fucking idea what they just said. And you don't. You got a mental illness, and it won't get better. It will get worse. In fact, I understand Huntington's disease does end up killing the person that has it. Interestingly enough, I got home from, I'm not a perfect person. There's nobody that is. If we're here on earth, we're still working through our problems. So when I say I'm a Christian, that doesn't mean I'm perfect. That means I'm flawed and I'm working on it. It's a process. Everybody is. But you try, the greatest commandment is that you treat other people like you want to be treated. That doesn't mean rapists and serial killers. We're treating the victims. The victims matter. Mr. Powell, not you. You're on the wrong side of this, and I never thought I'd see the day when you would do that. I never met you, but what I heard about you when I lived in Lubbock is that you were a stand-up guy who cared about victims, and right now you don't. Right now you're covering your ass, and you're failing at it too, by the way. So I guess somebody said it would have been easier for me to do what they want and try to frame her with something had they let her in court. She sued 3 times, and at none of those times did they let her in court to show her evidence and put witnesses on the stand, and they overcame that. Not once. In fact, they made sure she was never in court. It's her case, her lawsuit. The burden of proof is on her, and they make sure she's not in court. What does that tell you? Not even once. Had one time they done it right. Had one time the proceedings been legal. Were there one court order that was legal, I might be able to do something with it, but they fucked this up so bad. What's the harm in letting her in court to show evidence she doesn't have? To argue against 5+ seasoned attorneys, and she's not got a lick of law school, and they're scared to death of her. You can tell her they would let her in court. Had one time they done it legally, then it would be easier. But since they did it illegally 3 and 4 or 5 times, I'm really kind of having a hard time here. Doing what they want. They lie so much. They do illegal backroom deals so much. They took Judge Cummings duck hunting. How do we know that? We do know that, Charles. Because when you contact me, when you invade my privacy, when you try to take my money and make me destitute and all that crap and intimidate me and threaten and harass me, we get intel like that. It pisses people off. It goes outside social norms and it offends normal folk big time. And you don't seem to get the results of what you do. You're not reading your results. We are. That's why we're getting the help and you're not. You're getting told on. Never in your lives have you been caught this much. You make everybody's skin crawl, Charles. You creep everybody out. How embarrassing. Mr. Powell, your cruelty also is very offensive. Every time you call up here, do we have her whereabouts? Can we get this restraining order to her? What restraining order? What is there to restrain? Me screaming, leave me alone? Come on with that. So people get mad at you because you do shit like that. You don't, I'm in Oklahoma. Why are you here? Why are you using taxpayer-funded resources to intimidate the victim of stalking? Why? Do you hate women? You got mommy issues? Mr. Powell? Mr. Perry? Mr. Roberson? Mr. Burson? Well, somebody told us Josh Burson is very jealous of her. You know why? She's better at doing the cop thing than he is. She torpedoed my case, Mr. Powell said. Oh, you gotta have a case, sir. You gotta have evidence of a political vendetta and evidence of a false report. You didn't have either one. You obstructed justice. You intentionally, and then once you knew that Mr. Perry lied to you and didn't have any evidence of a political vendetta and didn't have any evidence of a false police report being filed, you should have dropped the charges, and you didn't. In fact, you've gone at me just the same as everybody else. Can we just say, Charles, when you contact me, we always get more. Your questions are inappropriate. Bother your attorney with that. I'm not getting paid $500 an hour to be bothered with your questions, and I will never help you. I don't have my privacy. I don't have my money. I don't have my family. You're trying to take my car again. You wanted a carjacking last night? You were talking about a carjacking, and they got you recorded. They got you. Again, because when you contact me, when you invade my privacy, when you take my money, they get you. So when somebody gets gotten, it's you. You get told on. You're offending people, all of you. And you can't read your results? Wow. 5 seasoned attorneys are scared of Cindy. She doesn't have any law school. To the extent they don't let her in court. The first time I went into court, Mr. Warman filed a motion to dismiss for Charles, and the magistrate judge denied it. Right out of the gate, I had some success. So they never again am I allowed in court. And when I was, it was against Lady Godiva's, Joe Chadwick. The judge tells his attorney, James Goodwin, you need to file a motion. She needs to respond. Ms. Ortiz, did you want to respond, or did you want to use this motion here you've got? And I was like, no, I want to wait first to see what he says, and then I'll respond. Okay, do that, and then we'll have a hearing. And then all of a sudden the hearings never happens. Then everything's dismissed. Again, illegal proceedings. Right there, Judge Morrissey. Right there, you got caught again. Just so you know, that's going to be used in your criminal case, Charles. You're not getting away with shit. I know you think you are, but you're delusional. You're fucking delusional. It's embarrassing. You and your little pretend make-believe world. So, this guy's like, she's like, do you like having a camera in your face? Is that fun? He completely has no idea what she just said. And he does not respond appropriately. And this guy right here is not going to be a dignitary, nor is Mr. Perry. It's embarrassing. You embarrass everybody. Please be as embarrassed as you make everybody else. Alright, so then there's this. This is somebody's house I delivered DoorDash food to. And, the garage, see the light on the right-hand side, the garage? When you walk up to the house, he says, remember, they've hacked my DoorDash. They want to make me destitute by making it where I can't make any money DoorDashing. I should be making about $15 an hour. I'm making about 8. Because Calvin and Sonjay work for Charles Perry. I've not met either one of them that I know of. But we got their names in police surveillance. Okay. So, those two, especially Calvin, is hated. Everybody fucking hates that guy because he's an asshole. They said they're literally trying to starve her. They'll barely make her, just let her make just enough to kind of barely get some gas. That's about it. I think I worked like 5 hours last night and came home with $20. I mean, it's definitely not national average. So everybody knows you hacked my Dasher app. You have your people order. And then they get their pictures of me on their doorbell cameras and stuff. We've all talked about it over and over and over and over. That's all illegal. Every bit of that's illegal. For 100 different reasons. And we know Calvin and Sanjay do that for you. We know Calvin. I've not met Calvin. So why would you try to ruin somebody you don't even know? Unless you're hired to. By a pathetic pussy who beats down women and thinks that makes him tough. Not a dignitary. So this guy here, you walk up and it says, "You're on camera. We're taking pictures of you. You're on camera. We're taking." I'm like, okay, and so are you. So I start taking pictures of that thing, and his doorbell camera. See that? Yeah. And then there's this one right here. You walked up. He's got a camera right there on his garage, and it starts announcing, I'm taking pictures of you. You're being filmed. And I'm like, so are you. How do you like it if I start taking pictures of your cameras? How do you like that? And then I'll just Facebook you. We'll just put it out. You gonna be an asshole like that? I'll put it out. How do you like it? Do you like it when somebody does that to you? Yeah, okay. So there's that. What's wrong with... I mean, I get the whole home security, but these are your people. It'd be different if these were just random DoorDash customers. They're not. They're your people. So, we got that. And, yeah, last night, they're talking about doing a carjacking. Get my driver's license. Can't you go in and get her driver's license? And the guy was like, I can't... No. You mean walk in our hotel room and get the driver's license? How am I going to... No, I'm not going to do that. We need you to steal her driver's license. We got to traffic her. That's easier to do if she has no driver's license. And no car. Carjack it. We'll say... That way she won't say it's us. Except you were recorded talking about it. You've been recorded talking about taking my taillight and having me pulled over the last week. You've been recorded talking about cutting fan belts and vandalizing my car again. You've been recorded talking about just having it towed over and over. I mean, let me sell it out from under. Have her arrested, and I want that car title put in my name. That was Sunday. I want some of her underwear for a trophy. Yuck. Okay, so there's that. Mr. Powell, that's the side you're on. I never thought I'd see the day from what I heard about you. Is Israel helping me? So my girlfriend's like, okay, well, what I know is Cynthia, she's a business professional. She owned a medical supply company, and she lobbied and fought for her patients and her kids. I watched her grow up. I also watched her with the man that she really cared about. With him in the same room. And they were inseparable. But I'll tell you one thing, he would have never let her sleep in her car. So she's sleeping in her car because she's fighting against Mr. Perry. She doesn't want to be with him. She's not going to be with him. She's sleeping in her car to avoid being with him. You know why? Because he's making her sleep in her car. She was actually with Saeed. She moved to be with Saeed because he would never, ever have allowed that. Even in a bad economy. But I don't think it's a bad economy. I think you're full of crap. That's the Cindy I know. She's fighting. That's what she is. By the way, this thing that somebody said she's suffering from anxiety and depression. I don't get depressed. I sometimes get anxious. Why wouldn't I? Somebody's trying to ruin me. Somebody's invading my privacy. A man is forcing himself on me that I don't like. That's going to cause some anxiety. I can't pay my bills because he's trying to starve me into... He just typed in my phone, no, you can't pay your bills. Call me. Duly noted for the record at 12:23, Mr. Perry again made unwanted contact through hacking to threaten to take my money, steal my money, to coerce. All of that's criminal. What a fucktard. So, okay. So the guys will charge you, sir. Again, they'll just add another one. And what do you want? How many I told you so's did you want to give me, sir? Why? Do whatever makes you look guilty. That makes sense. Nutbag. Okay, so, anyways, that's why we get the information and you don't. You get told on. Because you disgust people when you do that. You disgust them. Normal folk. Normal folk, which you don't even know what that is, do you? Nope. Way outside social norms. Very, very illegal. Very depraved. Very demented. Very sick and twisted. And he gets told on and can't read the feedback, can't read the results. That he's not liked. He's told on because he's not liked. People want him stopped. So our guys get the help. You get told on. You're a fucktard. Why aren't you as embarrassed as everybody else is? You're not getting anywhere with this. You're getting told on. Dumb. Can't you see the results? Is that what you want? You like getting told on? Do you like getting caught, Charles? I don't like you. Fuck you. Get away from me. Get out of my phone, please. Get a life, boring. Get a fucking life, you boring, pathetic piece of shit. So, she's like, what do you do to her? That she's dancing and door dashing? Something. Because that's not who she is. I'll tell you who she is, a woman that fights for what she believes in. Fights for victims. Fights for people who need fighting for. And fights against a monster like Mr. Perry. She didn't want him. She wanted Saeed because he made sure she didn't miss a meal. If there was no job, he'll create one. And make sure she makes money and can pay her bills. Saeed never, gave me money, but he started a business for me so I could make my own. And so I guess he gave me money in that way, that he invested the money to get it started. And then we made money. I don't go out with canned food, guys, Charles. I don't go out with Peep and Toms. So, one of the guys in his camp told our guys, these people is like literally being in an insane asylum. First of all, they're having a meeting about doing something she just talked about. We're going to do XYZ crime to her. Okay, but you're caught. She just talked about it. Just finished talking about it. So she already knows. And you're talking here like you don't know that. Like you didn't just run around going, how'd she find out about that? You're acting like it didn't happen. What a bunch of delusionals. How weird. That's weird. And then they're talking, Charles and Larry. Larry's the guy that bought Cynthia, or thinks he did. You can't buy people. If Larry gets anywhere near me, and I know that's who it is, I'll kick the fuck out of him. He will not be near me. What planet do people live on? This guy's it's literally a bunch of delusionals in a nut farm. Literally, it's what it's like being around them. So, Charles and Larry were talking about Cindy. Only if you were listening in and you didn't know any better, you would think that they were talking about their girlfriends or their wives or their spouse or their partner. And it's two different women who have similar attributes. Both of them were talking about Cynthia like they were in a relationship with her, and neither one of them are. Neither one of them are. They're watching in our house, imagining, pretending. It was weird. It gave me the creepy crawlies to hear that. To listen to those two talk about her like they actually think they're in a romance with her. It doesn't go both ways. It's not reciprocated. It's all in their head, both of them. And then listening to a talk, I guess they're going to share her. Ew. Yuck. What weirdos. What fucking fucked up weirdos. The guy goes, it made me sick at my stomach. It was gross listening to them talk. You'd think that they were talking about their wife or their girlfriend, and it's two different people with similar attributes, and they're both talking about a woman they're not in a relationship with, that doesn't even like them. And it's the same woman. How embarrassing. What weirdos. Oh my God. And Charles gets mad at Cynthia and takes his ring off. It's not Cynthia's ring, it's Jacqueline's ring. What a fucking weirdo. It's like with these people around, it's awful. It's like being in a nut house. In an insane asylum, listening to these. They're all old and far, can't act like she doesn't already know. Delusionals. And they do this weird shit. It's creepy. It's making everybody uncomfortable. And we have to deal with that. It's sick. I can't wait till they hurt people, put them in jail. We don't have to deal with this anymore. Yeah. That's why you got leaks. Right there. And, so we had a guy the University of Phoenix is concerned about what she knows. Wow. Violated my privacy rights all over the place, didn't they? And we knew. And he goes, I've got to find out what she's going to do with school. You've got to find out. You've got to ask her. Don't let her know, just try to be all normal about it and find out what she... Gosh, it's not your business. That's the thing. It doesn't concern you at all. So, nosy body, it's none of your business. A bunch of nosy people with no life. I don't know. And, okay, and then we get one of our guys last night. Not last night. It's been a couple of years ago, actually. Talked to an expert on this kind of deal. And the guy said, it's easier to understand these guys who actually had a relationship with the person, actually dated, were actually intimate, and then there's a breakup and they having a hard time letting go. It's easier to deal with those kind because they are in reality. It's harder to deal with the delusionals like Mr. Perry and Larry, who are watching a woman on TV, whether it be Jodie Foster or Rebecca Schaefer. Both there was a murder on both of those. There's been a murder on mine, Chief Miller. So it's harder, it's harder to deal with these types. They're more dangerous. That there's not actually any reciprocation. There's no actual date. There's no actual sex. But they're watching these women on TV, and in their mind, their minds are going where nobody else's would go, normal people. And they're imagining there's something there that's not there. And they get deadly. They get dangerous. And they'll do things like kidnap or murder. He's already done this false arrest thing once. So he made a threat, and then he carried it out. Her shrink, he said, I'm reading what her shrink said, and her shrink said he wants to hurt her. And TPD needs to get their head in the game, and they don't have it in the game. And it's, I don't know what to say to that. What a disappointment. They're not policing, are they? No, they're being his bitch. That's the best they can do in their careers in law enforcement, is be the bitch of a sex pervert, an alleged sex offender, and an alleged cop killer. Because Lucky wasn't going to put up with it, was he? Lucky said, not too long before his death, his murder, I believe that Mr. Perry is the sickest of the sick, and that he's actually a necro. I believe he probably engages in bestiality, homosexuality. He's a video voyeur. We all know that. And because he admitted to that, but he said she was complicit. And I'm not seeing a woman who's complicit. She went and spent about $500 on sheets to cover up every inch of space in her hotel room at Lakeshore that she thought there might be a camera, or where a camera might be moved. So I'm not seeing a woman who's complicit. I don't think she was ever complicit. I think he's full of shit. I think he doesn't even know the difference between fact and fiction. I think he's mentally deranged. And it's my concern is he's fantasizing about killing her and having sex with her dead body. And he's not going to do that in my jurisdiction. He's not. It's not going to happen. Is that true, Mr. Perry, that's what you were planning? You're caught. You're caught when you do the crime to me. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it, because most victims don't know they've been sold. You got yourself in a jam stalking financially. And now you've sold me thinking that you're going to get a whole bunch of money when I'm delivered, and then you can pay off your debt that you created by stalking. Here's the thing. You know what? How much it costs to leave somebody alone? Nothing. No time, no money, Larry. I mean, y'all are just stupid. It's so easy, it's not fair. It really is. When is he going to arrest you? Yesterday's not soon enough for me. Every time you contact me, Charles, we get more intel. So when I'm quoting somebody talk about the University of Phoenix, you know why that happened? because you're contacting me and I asked you not to. You're invading my privacy, I asked you not to. And you're trying to make me destitute. And you're fucked. So you're running around telling everybody she's going to ruin me. I'm not, actually, but the guys will. They are going to ruin you. And the deeper you dig your hole, the easier it will be to bury you in it, sir. And we've been saying that for years. He said, I gave him out and out repeatedly. What I said is, give it back. What you took, everything you took, give it back. If you mess something up, fix it. And get the hell out of her life. There's your out. Otherwise, I will ruin you. That's what we do. We're cops. We ruin crime. We ruin crime. That's our goal. Ruin your crime. And you've never been caught this much in your life. You act like you have no idea. So, I mean, we're just at a loss. We have no words for this. But when I quote you planning a carjacking and talking to, about the University of Phoenix, being worried about what I know, you asked for that. He said, there's your shovel, dig away. Dig. The deeper you dig yourself in that hole, the easier it will be to bury you in it. I plan to ruin you. I'm a cop. I'm quoting my guy. I'm a cop. I told you don't invade her privacy in March 2020. I told you in March 2020, do not contact her or her family. I told you in March 2020, she'd better not be broke. Get your hands out of her wallet. And you said no. And we were like, suit yourself. Here's your shovel, dig away. The deeper you go into that hole you're in, easier it will be to bury you. Our plan is to ruin you. You're a criminal. That's what we do. We're cops. We ruin criminals. Ruin them. Ruin your crime. Ruin the whole thing. Because we want the victims to be safe. Our concern is for the people you hurt. We want to make their hurt go away. Now, lastly, we got this thing with Natalie Holloway and Yaron Vandersloot and all that. Yeah, can you imagine going to work and everywhere you go, somebody's trying to take a picture of you? People you don't even know. But that gets us Bittencourt's name. Greg, Tim. Their names. Beverly's name. I've never met Beverly or Greg and Tim or Bittencourt that I know of, or Lucius or Calvin or Sonjay. But when you fuck with me, the guys get up your ass and start finding out what they can do to help the victims not hurt anymore, which involves your ruin. But you're vigorously pursuing it. He gave you an out, and you won't take the out. You're vigorously pursuing your own ruin. You're going to kidnap me, duly noted for the record you made that threat specifically. You're going to make me destitute, duly noted for the record you made that threat specifically. How many I told you so's did you want to give me? You're a human trafficker. Sicko. We get the information, you get told on. Look, we're reading our results going, okay, what we're doing is working. He's not able to read his results. He can't even tell the difference between fact and fiction. And he wants to be a dignitary. Everybody's embarrassed by you. Why aren't you embarrassed? I don't like you. Fuck off. Grow a pair. Act like a man. And move on. And go do normal things. Go work. Peeping is a sick crime. It's rape. If there were nothing else, there's that. You're a fucking turnoff. You pervert. You're a pervert. You're a sick little fuck pervert. And it's embarrassing. And no woman would go out with a man that does that. So you're a fucking rejected failure. And you'll never be anything better. Never have, never will. We have always controlled the flow of information. Always. Why is that? What does it mean we have all this? Before you do it, not after. See, you don't know. You can't answer those questions. You're not all there. And I'm not trained to do heart surgery. So I'm not going to go try to do... And I'm not trained for special needs. I don't know. But you have an attorney that you pay $500 an hour, that you need to direct your questions to him and bother him. And don't bother me. Charles, when you contact me, fuck, you sick little fuck. We get more intel. Is that what you want? Vigorously pursuing your own ruin. So don't whine about it. You ask for it. He just did it again. You can't tell the difference between your pretend life and real. Okay, so I wanted to cover one more thing. Senile dementia. Look at that. All those guys in Lubbock that she mentioned knew there was never anything political. Because Perry went around telling everybody he was having an affair with Cynthia. And there was never an affair. Wow. Matt, did you know that? Can't be factually ignorant, Matt. Can't get her back to the doctor. We really need to say she's crazy. Okay, so when our shrink is telling me, your cousin just testified in front of a grand jury and said his biggest mistake was that he helped you. And I'm sorry that he said that. There's a reason the shrink tells me this stuff. I'm not suffering from anxiety and depression. I don't get depressed. I get pissed off. I am suffering from being perpetually pissed off. If somebody took everything you had and everybody you love, so would you. You would be the same. I don't get depressed. I get mad. I get pissed. And I start swinging. And if you don't like that, get out of my way. And don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Nobody's taking your shit. We're taking evidence. We're taking notes. You guys do your crime. We document it, and that's that. We'll see you in court. We'll see your ass in court. I mean, I can't wait. Mike Neely needs to go home. The victims matter, not you. So, there's the thing about the car. August 23rd, 2019. It's not legal, but I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. And then we got like a bazillion car accidents. And tampering with my car and vandalism and shit. Which is what Mike Neely took a report on 6 days before you blew his life up. I'm reading Charles made a threat to false arrest her, then he did it. So, he's particularly dangerous. He doesn't care. He doesn't have any impulse control. Because most people, when they're caught, are smart enough to stop. And he doesn't know that. Yeah, and you don't. The false arrest, by the way, here's Mike Neely. Accused of beating Chief Miller to death so hard, back and forth, his head came off his body. It was so hard, it was like a car crash, the medical examiner said. So he died of blunt force trauma to the head, strangulation, and internal decapitation. His skull came off his body, and yet this guy has not a mark on him. And he was found in respiratory distress, unconscious, and dying of opioid overdose. Who gave him the opioids? They treated him with Narcan. And how do you beat somebody to death while you're dying of opioid overdose and unconscious and end up with not a mark on you? Okay, so what you did to him, when you got a guy named Euron Vandersloot who says, I killed Natalie Holloway, I'll confess. Please understand that did not discourage us in the least. That might be true, it might not. You're talking about having Natalie Holloway at that compound. I'm not going to repeat myself on all that. All I'm going to say is, you discouraged absolutely nothing if she's really there. Your activity and towards me is going to be used against you in a court of law, Mr. Perry, as being retaliatory, proving I'm right, proving intel is good or bad. So you do what you do. There's your shovel, dig away. The deeper you have yourself in that hole, the easier it will be to ruin you and bury you. And that is his intent. That's what he does for a living to criminals and alleged sex offenders and alleged cop killers. Okay? Because he had no motive. You did. Chief Miller figured out that you might be a necrophiliac. And he wasn't going to let you murder me in his jurisdiction and then go have sex with my dead body. What a sick, fucked up thing. You think BTK, people feel sorry for BTK? You're no different. You're absolutely no different at all. You're worse. You're a cop killer, allegedly. What does that say? All I want him to do is leave me the fuck alone. How different would things be had you listened and just let me the fuck alone? I rejected you. You make my skin crawl. All of it. Okay, so here's the false arrest that the guy was worried about. By the way, the guys who helped me They got the kind of power to get that to me in jail. That's not your name on that puzzle. It's Fabian's. Fabian's the man I wanted, not you. You're always a wannabe. Just the butt in. Just the creepster. Can't get a life. Okay, these are texts that I sent to Fabian on the night Mr. Roberson came into my work and bothered me and threatened me. Those kind that have no actual relationship with the victim are particularly dangerous because they're going places in their head that other people don't. And they'll murder, like murdering Chief Miller. Murder of Rebecca Schaefer. The attempted murder of President Reagan. There's nothing there. They're watching people on TV, pretending there's something there. But it's not real to the victim. It's only in their head. There's nothing real about this, Charles. You make me sick. It's not reciprocated. David threatens me. I'm getting sick. And I'm like, are you giving me arsenic? Yeah. Okay. Good to know. I file a police report. Because in Oklahoma, if you want a protective order, you have to have a police report. Mr. Powell. And you knew that. I had already tried to get one, forgot the police report. So he denied me. Somebody said, I think she set you up. I think they knew what you guys were trying to do. And she left that police report at home on purpose. Maybe. We're good at what we do, I'll say that. 29th, they have me arrested for filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job as a senator. You obstructed justice because TPD first gave the police report to you, which they shouldn't have done. They don't call me till the 15th. I'm already in jail. For filing a false police report that wasn't investigated. No evidence was collected, no blood drawn, no text reviewed, no evidence collected. Matt. And you knew that. You're in a lot of trouble, too. I know you like to pretend you're a victim. We don't understand that. You're not the stand-up guy people said you were, that's for sure. Fiduciary obligation to get the truth. And you didn't. I bought that because I'm getting sick at work. I don't want to die. They're poisoning me like they did Mike. 2 of us now. We're poisoned. We don't die. We end up in jail. You want us to shut up. You're guilty. Or you wouldn't care. You'd be dismissive. Then while I'm in jail, we're going to send her home, harass the hell out of her, try to carjack her, try to starve her and make her destitute, traffic her and shit. And then when she complains about it and says, leave me alone, we'll say she's harassing us. We'll lie. Okay, Matt? Dude, you know, note that down. We know, Matt. We've known since 2018. I think I actually told Ted as soon as he picked me up from jail. Go ahead and do what you do. These are the rest of the text from Mr. Roberson on the 4th of January. Hadn't even filed a police report yet. Me being dead or arrested doesn't vindicate, Mr. Perry. It's another I told you so. Dum-dum. I just want this to be over without death or destruction or deception. And what's he say? I can't promise it won't end without death and destruction. Notice he left out the word deception. Yeah, we noticed. I won't get into what we believe that means. There's subconscious. We do a lot of reading of subconscious. Yeah, because people will tell you everything with the subconscious mind. So consciously they can hide, they can lie. Subconscious, they can't. So when you're trained to do a sting up like I can do, and I can get people to say things they didn't know they told me without meaning to, a lot of it, first of all, is the subconscious mind will do what it does. So you just sit there and let people do what they do. They'll open the door. You just walk through it. You don't have to force a conversation. You just let people talk. Subconsciously, it's going to come out one way or the other, whether they like it or not. Whether they mean for it to or not. So, this one, what is this supposed to mean? Let your life fade away? Yeah. Murder. We're going to murder you. Just let us. So there's all that. I mean, anybody can look up my paperwork here. Judge Hanson never said, I need probable cause that there's first evidence of a political vendetta. Where's the text? Where's the tweets? Where's the Facebook messages about a political vendetta? What's the issue? He's the new guy. She's well established and seasoned. Why does she need Charles? That she would go to him and say, I need your help with XYZ, and he won't do it. It takes thousands of people to pass a law, not just one. Especially not the new guy. I helped him get elected. He's off his nut. Second of all, where's the collection of evidence and the investigation and witnesses talked to and all that? And the police determination that this is false and had, where's all that? I need probable cause before I sign an arrest warrant. My name is on my work. It is, Judge Hanson, and you fucked up. And Mr. Powell did too, because he didn't ask for it either, and his name's on that as well. So they dismissed the charges, actually. Here. But now I have an arrest record. Never before in my life have I been arrested. Now I've been arrested. They're trying to do it again. Every day, something. Kidnap. Use the taxpayer-funded resources to kidnap and facilitate the trafficking of a woman and get my money, my personal profit. Nobody else suspects a thing. We've only talked about it. Most victims don't have that kind of information, do they? These are the texts I was talking about that Mr. Powell wanted to just say, let's just lie. These are all my correspondence with Mr. Perry. I'm trying to tell him, leave me the fuck alone. Finish up my taxes and get away from me. I'm asking him, is the IRS going to take my deductions? It's a yes or no question. He's a seasoned accountant. The answer, by the way, was yes. He goes off on this stuff that has nothing to do with me. And then tells me, you lose. Let me see, what is it? I gotta find it. You lose, you're stuck, you have no control. You lose. You're stuck, you have no control. It's a yes or no questions. Will the IRS take my deductions? And the answer was yes. So, you know what they said in Manford? You know how many times I've told a woman who is not my wife, or a customer or client, even if they messed up, you lose, you're stuck, you have no control? Never. It's weirdo. You know how many times I've told somebody, let your life fade away? Never. It's weirdo. You know how many times I've pulled up in the backyard of a woman who is not my wife and watched her? Or gone to a restaurant and spied on her, or had my staff do it? Never. Because it's weirdo. And also, not what you do to pass a law in Texas. So why is he doing that in Oklahoma? September 11th, long before I could have anticipated he'd go into court and lie. This right here is probable cause for a judge to give a standing, wide open order on any and all grand jury hearings that you do. And he has, and he did. He's pulling up in my backyard and watching me. I may have to move. That's what this says. Nothing political at all. Matt. Did you know? You don't see, if you had taken the time to read, you wouldn't be in the situation you're in. He's coming into restaurants looking for me and having his staff spy on me. It's weird. You know how many times I've gone to a restaurant to spy on a woman who is not my wife, or had my staff do it? Never, because it's weirdo. And not what you do to pass a law in Texas. There you go. Or his daughter. Twice I go to the roof on a Friday. Plan to go on a Saturday. Have a friend text me. We're texting each other. We're going to go. Then at the very last minute, cancel it. Sunday morning. So we've gone Friday to the roof, which is a dance club in Lubbock, right across from Jones Stadium. On the roof of the parking garage for Jones Stadium. Twice I go on a Friday. Plan to go on a Saturday with the people I was with on the Friday. Saturday rolls around. We're texting back and forth about going, and then last minute cancel. Sunday morning, on the roof's Facebook page is Jordan, Charles's daughter. Wow. Did she know that you wanted her to spy? What were you going to do? Just go, hey, Jordan, did you see anybody we know? Was Cynthia, who was she with? And pretend have some sort of innocent interrogation as to what I did, and she saw it. Weirdo. Uses his own kid to stalk somebody he's told everybody in town he's having an affair with. Yeah, it doesn't get any lower than that. It really doesn't. It doesn't get any lower than what you did. Using your kid. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't know what to say to that. I fucking don't even know what to say. Mr. Powell, that's what you put your name on. That's your reputation. This happened to me in Lubbock. I go on a date with Daryl. I forgot my phone at home. Remember, the phone attacked and GPS'd. Twice I did that. One time I did that is when he went to the restaurant looking for me in person. Didn't send Catherine this time. Catherine's also a victim of human trafficking, isn't she? Is she? You ask. We don't want to lie. You tell us. What's her family background? Where does she live now? Is she a victim? Charles, when you contact me, we get more intel. Is that what you want? Those are your results. Those are your results. I'll never help you. You bother your fucking attorney with your questions and don't contact me again. You pay with intel. You're paying for this in ways you never have before, and he's not arrested you just yet. You really think we're going to get all this and just do nothing with it? Yeah. Delusion. Can't tell the difference between fact and fiction anymore. The second time is I went on a date with Daryl. I come home, and there's some kind of liquid all over my cabinet that had eaten a hole all the way through it. And this was one bottle that was melted. This one on the right is the new bottle. So that you can see what it's supposed to look like and what it did look like. So what, did you just want to scare me? Were you just trying to show me what you can do and get away with? Weirdo. How'd you get in my home? I didn't let you in my home. The police officer wanted to know the same thing. How'd you get in? I said, bump key, maintenance guy, pay him a couple $100. When you get in. Yeah. Same as you paid Mo at Good Deal for a key on my Toyota that you got in the trunk and put powder just to let me know you could. That was reported to Michael Neely 6 days before you blew his life up. Yeah. So, we did a detailed examination of Mr. Neely's case and Chief Miller's murder. And this is what we came up with. There's no way Mike could have done it. Is that what's going on with your Ron and Natalie? You're not discouraging us at all. Because they're fixing to blow up everything, including your cover-ups of your cover-ups. So, we don't, there's your shovel, dig. The deeper you dig your hole in, the more you insist on looking guilty and pursue your own ruin. It's not our problem, is it? He gave you an out. Give it back and get the fuck out of her life. We'll see about getting you some mercy. But there's your out. You don't want to take it. You want to vigorously pursue your own ruin. Suit yourself. So we did this whole thing here. This right here documents everything he's done. Every threat. Everything. Cynthia's family bad-mouthing her backfired. Because one of those people said, you know what? These people are assholes. Why aren't they there for her while he's brutalizing her life? They're welcoming him. She said he's stalking her. She said, he's a stalker. I need to get away from him. And you let him in your life and in your home and shoved her out. What the hell kind of family does that? So them getting on the stand didn't, to badmouth her. The biggest mistake I made was helping her. Why would you say something like that? Her friend knows her better. This is not Cindy. What you're seeing her fight him off of her because he's abusive and she's not going to put up with that, that's Cindy. The professional businesswoman that I know, that's Cindy. Why is she dancing and door dashing? What did he do to her? What did he do? Why was my family would never have just bailed on me. In fact, we would have worked together as a family to eliminate the threat. So why didn't they? Why didn't they call her in 4 years once, even once? To see how she's doing, if she's okay. And her son getting upset about the use of his picture to help a police officer. And not giving two shits about how his mom's doing. I don't have any words for that. So your little plan didn't work. No surprise there. Because you're not able to read results. You don't know how people think. But you get cruel and you get mean, people don't like that, and they'll start going against you. And you're running around going, was it you? Did you tell? That's backfiring on you too in ways you don't even know. You have no idea. So we document all this stuff as it happens on this blog. There's other people that there's people that come to my work besides just David Robertson. Their texts and stuff are on there, linked on here. Got all that. We got their code words, ratatouille. Papa John's means to make delivery of a victim, human trafficking victim. They call it we got to make Papa John's on this. That means to deliver the victim of human trafficking to the person who bought them. Yep. What else do we have on here? We got the human trafficking thing here, a whole page on it. Charles Perry's mental illness, a whole page on it. Mike Neely's case. Other evidence and documents. We got Dr. Russell that he was talking about. I read her shrink something. Mr. Perry made a threat and he carried it out. He's very dangerous. You got Jodi Arias slashing tires and then first degree murder of her stalking victim. You got Jodie Foster, President Reagan's attempted murder, and some other people were. There was a guy killed, I believe, James Brady, that has now led to the Brady bill. I'm not for gun control. I'm for better. Let me say this. People kill, guns don't. Some of those cases with like the Tulsa shooter, the guy got the gun through legal means. Adam Lanza stole his mother's guns, shot her, and then shot up a school of kids. I mean, what laws do you do to prevent that? I don't know. Because this is a long conversation when you get into gun control. But if Mr. Perry thought that was the issue, it's not. I'm not. I'm a Republican. I'm a libertarian-leaning Republican, not libertarian, but libertarian-leaning. And you should notice that when I say things like, you cannot use taxpayer-funded resources for your own personal profit to facilitate the trafficking of a victim of human trafficking for your crime. You're using Tulsa, Oklahoma's citizens' money for your personal profit and to commit crime in Tulsa against the Tulsa woman citizen. And Tulsa police is a bunch of misogynists who discriminate against gender and don't help victims. They hurt us. And at some point, they're going to have to answer for that. They can live with their choices. They're grown-ass people. So that's what she says. That's there when he was referring to that. We also have Pinto, who solicits prostitution right here. On behalf of Mr. Perry, came to my work. Perry's always coming where I am, is my point, in Oklahoma. It's not like we live in the same neighborhood and we're just running into each other at the neighborhood grocery. I live in an entirely different state. Why is he here? All the time. So some guy said, Mr. Perry has been in Oklahoma for 9 years. Yep. Sits on his ass, perverts around, bothers her, causes trouble. And he thought nobody would notice. Well, 9 years, somebody's going to notice in 9 years. You'd think. Okay, so, see, all of this is not what you do to pass a law in Texas, Mr. Perry. Prostitution, solicitation, and all that. Here's my disclaimer. I assert the right to equal protection of the laws against domestic violence, retaliation, stalking, obstruction of justice, perjury, all that. All that's here. This is from the National Stalking Resource Institute, I think. Center. National Stalking Resource Center has produced a lot of videos that train police, judges, prosecutors on what to do with stalking. Stalking often leads to murder of the victim, is what the guy was saying. She's in a lot more risk because there was never anything. It's all in his head. His head is going places normal people's head won't go. You need to worry. TPD needs to worry. Charles, when you contact me, we always get more, and you never shut up. It's unbelievable. He just did it again. Is it Tulsa Police? Tulsa Police is 100% your bitch, okay? 100%. If there is a leak in there, I'm not told who they are. I don't know. Don't care either. Bother your attorney with your questions. You're trying to starve me. You're paying him $500 an hour. It's very inappropriate for you to contact me directly. Can you just not control yourself at all? This right here is what police are supposed to do. Not give it to the offender, Richard. So there's that. Everybody knows I don't have any great respect for Tulsa police. I did respect Chief Miller and Mike Neely very much. I still do. As far as I'm concerned, Mike Neely is an officer down in need of an assist, and I've gone without food. I've been beat down because they're retaliating. They're guilty. I'm right. They love to prove me right by retaliating. We got to shut her up. Because I'm right. How many men sit around trying to figure out how to make me fail? See, I'm right, or you wouldn't. Josh Burson, I heard, is very jealous of me because I'm better at this than he is. 6 times he had to go before the panel to become a Texas Ranger. His brother, 1 time. He said that in a TV interview. 6 times the panel had so many concerns about him, he couldn't overcome it. We're like, maybe they just finally passed him because his brother. Because he's not smart. I like smart cops. I'm impressed with smart cops who I don't have to chapter and verse and get my finger paints and puppets and crayons out for. We call them finger paint cops. Fives. Right, Gomer Pyle. I don't. That's not my thing. But what I do like is cops that just keep up with me. Like the guy's helping me. So, this is the disclaimer here. I assert the right to equal protection against every law being broken against me. And fuck you if you're corrupt. I mean, people are sick of that. All you have to do is watch the news. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we always get more. Those are your results. You creep everybody out and your cruelty makes people want to hit you. He said don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her. All of that's illegal. And she doesn't like it. And she doesn't like you because you do it. No one does. And she's not broke anymore. Get your hands out of her. Stop taking her money. And if you continue to do what you're doing, there's your shovel. Dig away. Expect us to get more intel because you make people mad when you do that. Expect us to find out more that we're going to use against you in court to stop you. We're going to ruin you. That's what we do to criminals. We ruin them. And their crime, because what matters to us is make the hurt go away for the victims and the people that you're hurting, that you don't have the right to hurt. Calvin, I've never met you. I don't know how you sit around all day and try to ruin a woman you don't even know. God help you. But they're after you today all day. Because you know what? Last night, you made sure I didn't make any money. I do. I dance and DoorDash right now. I can. Because I can. My school is nobody's business, and I'm not going to tell anybody what I'm doing with it. It's none of your business. The only way you could know is hacking me. Because I'm going to make sure, just because you asked, because Mr. Perry was contacting me and bothering and pestering and made me broke last night, we found out about the carjacking and your interest in my school. You pay for it with intel. Never been caught this much in your lives, and you can't read your results. You do the same thing every day. There's your shovel. Dig away. The deeper you dig in it, Charles, the easier it'll be for him to bury you. And that is his goal. Nobody's gotten closer to that goal than we have. All we're doing is letting you do you, and we're taking notes. That's it. So, that's it. That's all. There's that.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.